I just get here about this time, but it don't do no good. They get in there with a meeting in the morning, so I don't even try to get here early.
It's your call, man.
As long as I get here, that's all you.
You're elected, you're elected.
Okay.
You're
Oh,
on.
okay. So, yeah, okay,
One
okay.
was 35 that we went over.
Maybe next time it'll change.
And this one is for 71, 158.
Next
Maybe I
time
will.
being, next time being,
Maybe I will.
Deliver, you're not in charge of them.
next time being 2 years and 11
She
months.
just said they have
Oh,
corrections.
okay.
So the total amount did not change.
I don't think so. There's
No,
Karen.
And don't, now,
Karen.
tell you that I ain't thought about it.
Yeah.
But I have some people putting in here, so I'm gonna stick it out for them.
Got a question for you.
Not about me.
On the Civic Center, the total amount's still the same, 180? They said, no.
Good morning, everyone. We'll call the August 2nd, 2016 meeting of Jackson City Council to order. And we're going to call on Councilman Randy Wallace to lead us in the invocation and pledge. If you would, please rise.
Bow with me, please. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for giving the members of this council the opportunity to serve. Help us to make decisions that are pleasing to you. For it's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
Nita, I think you can show all council members present, with the exception of Councilman Harvey Buchanan. Quick update on Councilman Buchanan. He will be back on the scene August 15th, according to his physician, and we want to continue to pray for his continued recovery during that time. So we'll expect him to the next meeting. Item 4 is approval of minutes of July 5th, 2016 City Council meeting. Council members received a copy of those minutes. If there are no additions, any modifications, we'll accept those minutes as approved. Item 5 is the invitation of public comment. And this is for the audience. Anyone here who wishes to be heard on any item under new business, if you would let me know at that time, I'll be happy to call on you and ask you to come up to address the council. We have no proclamations this morning, no recognitions. We have item 8 under first readings. Consideration of the ordinance to accept Match Point Drive running west off of Highway 45 North, directly across from Parker Drive.
So move.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Not council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Let's see, before we move on, let's go ahead and have the public hearing on that particular order. It may not change any votes, but anyone will declare the public hearing open. If there's anyone wishing to speak in opposition to or support of this ordinance, if you'll let me know at this point. Seeing none, hearing none, we'll close the public hearing. Council's already voted, so we'll move on to the next item. Item 2 is consideration of an ordinance to abandon an unnamed alley running south off West Lafayette Street to West Main Street between 223 and 235 West Main Street, submitted by James Upchurch.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This item was presented to the Planning Commission, and they are recommending it to you. It has gone through our process, and it's just another one of these alleys that wasn't really serving the public. So to keep us from maintaining it, we're abandoning and closing it and revert back to Upchurch, who owns the property around it.
What's gonna happen to it?
It will remain just like it is, but it just won't be a public alley.
So we won't be seeing to it or anything.
We won't what?
I said, I know that's pretty well used quite often. Why would we close it?
Let me pull the file and I'll tell you what it says.
Is Mr. Upchurch here? Would you like to explain it to us, Mr. Upchurch?
I think the alley that you're talking about was.
Would you mind coming forward so we can get it on the record?
I believe the alley that you're talking about is the west end alley that runs next to the barbecue place. We're not asking.
No, that runs all the way up in Baltimore, doesn't it, when we're talking about?
No. This one runs just between Main and Lafayette.
Man, Lafayette.
Next to Ideal Laundry, where the old Ideal, abandoned old Ideal Laundry building is. So there's not been a car on it, and gosh, I can't remember the last time anybody used it.
Is it even accessible? It's
No, it's
blocked.
not even accessible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And-
So it
and
does
we-
not go all the way through, from Maine to Lafayette, okay.
Yeah, it's right beside, it's, if you remember, we got the triangle that we own where the flags sit, and then you've got the lot that's kind of had an old service building, and then there's the old Ideal Cleaners, and those haven't been used by the public, they're not open accessible. All the property owners that own property around it have agreed to the abandonment closure. We notify all public safety too, just to make sure that there's no
I
need.
just wasn't familiar where it was.
I move the approval.
Okay, we have a motion for approval. Before a second, let's go ahead and conduct the public hearing, this being an ordinance on first reading, to see if there's anyone present who would like to be heard on this matter, either in support of or in opposition to. If you'd let me know at this time. Seeing none, hearing none, we'll close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Discussion from council. Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Upchurch. Thank you. Item 9 is second readings. Consideration of the ordinance to abandon an unnamed alley running south off of First Street to the West Tennessee Railroad between Eastview Avenue and Walker Avenue, submitted by the City Housing Department.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion from council.
Yes, sir. Stan, have we got with the people in that area yet, or we addressed the issues?
We're going to address the issues, and as your motion was made, basically, you had asked that this be cleaned up, or the property owners had asked that it be cleaned up before it's given over to them. So we will just make sure that before the effective, so this effectively transfers to, that we'll make sure that gets done. And I'll get with Percy and see about getting that cleaned up.
All right, thank you.
Have we voted?
No.
Okay. Any other questions, comments from council? Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Stan. Item 10, new business, approval of waste management contract. We'll call on Mr. Cobb, if he would come up, who walked his way through this contract, and any other staffer that you would like to come up, Louis.
We have been working with Waste Management to finalize the contract based on the RFP, and what we have for you is that contract.
Okay, any questions from council, any comments from council on the contract for solid waste removal by Waste Management?
Yeah, one quick question.
Go ahead.
On the request for proposal, does this specify in the contract somewhere that the request for proposal information is included as part of the contract?
That's a different question than what you asked me Thursday.
I thought it did, but I haven't had a chance to find that in there. And I guess that it goes back to the little bit confusion over the claw trucks and, why the city has claw trucks as well as the Waste Management and them required to have two. And I understand the request for proposal, I believe it says they're required to run two. The city kind of tells them where to run them, but I couldn't find that in the contract anywhere. So I was a little confused over that.
Let me have my contract expert.
Oh.
It's on the first page.
Okay, the contractor proposal, I guess that's a request for their RFP then, okay.
Yeah, we're
I was looking for
requesting
RFP.
proposals. They respond
Okay.
to the proposal,
Okay.
and so
So that's included in
the
the,
contract documents would include both.
okay.
Contract will be effective today, tomorrow, yesterday?
Yes.
Yes, to all three. Okay. All right, good deal.
Effective today
Right,
and
gotcha.
retroactive to tomorrow.
I got you, okay.
Well, and we're dealing with the same people with the same equipment, providing basically the same services, and it's the adjustments in price that's required by the bidding.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments from council as to this contract?
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion for approval, properly second. Any discussion from council? Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Second item under new business, consideration of a settlement and release agreement with UGN.
Just sit here.
You got several more.
The next agenda items are things that we've done to deal with the issue of solid waste hauling and disposal. The context is, we have been historically the one that picks up the solid waste on the facility we deposited and we transported. Back many years ago, administration believed that we could save some money by privatizing, outsourcing that. And that was done first with the collection and hauling, and later we sold the dump. In the sale of the dump, we committed to that for 20 years, our stream of solid waste would be deposited in the dump. No one would buy it if we were going to open up something next to it, kind of like a non-compete. However, there's some case law from around the country that question whether or not we have the right to stipulate where the solid waste goes. We think we do. One of our customers thought we didn't, and they hired a lawyer.
Lewis, move your mic a little closer, please.
Hired a lawyer from Wisconsin to question that. And in that process, the city's been represented by Dale Condon with Rainey Kaiser. They also included in that mix the owners of the landfill, which is now Madison County, something MCD. We've reached a settlement agreement, and in that settlement agreement, we're going to provide some additional infrastructure to handle what was some unique bulky fiber waste that was creating a problem in terms of handling, depositing, and pricing. So it's my strong recommendation that we deal with this problem in this way as the most cost-efficient way, including litigation expenses, risk of loss, things like that.
Mayor, before we vote on this is kind of a three-part process. Can we kind of give
It is.
an overview of the whole situation?
Yeah, Louis, you want to go ahead and just
Sure.
riff down into the other two items where we'll
UGN
have a better-
manufactures some of these inserts for Honda vans, and it's a very complex piece of equipment. It includes more than just the headliners. It's got lights, it's got wires, it's got a lot involved. When there is a defect in any of the systems, it's not cost efficient to try to salvage it, repair it, they just throw it out. So they have a large volume of these headliners, which are stiff, bulky, and difficult to dispose. For a while, they were trying to salvage them by sending them to Kansas City for a cogeneration project. That didn't work. Then they sent them to Camden, where they have what's called a tipper machine, which is a great big giant claw that takes a tractor-trailer truck, lifts it up, and dumps it out. They didn't have one in Jackson.
So we need the tipper because the material is so light it won't fall out just by,
Right.
okay.
Well, and normally you would take it, you just push, and compact it, but that process is slow, it's hard on the equipment, and it's just not a practical solution. The solution we came up with, which was a collaboration of all the providers, was we will provide a tipping machine in Jackson, which means they don't have to ship it 130 miles round trip to Camden. It's local. MCD is going to go in with us on that and provide that service, that infrastructure, and we will keep everything locally and under the one system for everybody, which I believe, and I think many people around the country believe, provides a low-cost solution because you have one, it's like a public utility. Instead of have people, with parallel sewer lines or parallel electric lines, you have one person serves everyone. And we've adapted our delivery of that service to a customer to meet their needs, and I think in a fair way.
And the cost of the tipper to the city will be $4,000 a month?
I think it's a little more than that, but yes.
Okay, well, in that range, then, okay. As far as
More than covered by
bottom
the-
line for the city's revenues, will it affect it? Is that like $4,000 or whatever, the $4,500 to $4,900 a month less that we'll earn, or is it all
The
kind of a break-even situation?
Solid waste fund is a separate, discrete fund.
Mhm.
It comes out of that solid waste fund, so it funds itself.
Okay.
It is not a taxpayer-supported
The
fund.
last question I have, which actually is on the third thing we're going to approve, is on the rental agreement. On that second item, it says that the terms of agreement should be for 60 months, commencing, and then above that, it says the monthly rental shall be $5,500 per month, payable in advance for the entire period. I'm assuming that means payable monthly in advance, not the whole thing payable in advance.
It's like when you rented your apartment, the landlord,
Yeah, the
ask
wording
you
on
to
it sounded
pay
like we
before
got to
you-
pay the whole amount in
No.
advance.
no,
But we got to pay it monthly in advance.
pay forward, not in arrears.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, good deal. Okay, we're back on item 2, even though several of them have been covered, consideration of the settlement and release agreement with UGN. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Have a second discussion from council. Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
And the second part of that puzzle, consideration of a tipper license and operating agreement.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second discussion. Council. Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
And the fourth item is consideration of a tipper rental agreement.
So moved.
Have a motion. Second?
Second.
Have a second. Discussion from council. Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Okay, thank you. Louis. Item 5 is acceptance of FY16 JAG grant, no match required. Before we vote on that, if there's any questions, Mike Holt, I think, is probably here, or Barry, if y'all have any questions. I think this is one that we normally divide half and half, isn't it? Yes, sir. Mike? And we are asked to perform a public hearing on this grant, so we'll go ahead and open the public hearing and see if there's anyone here who'd like to make any comments in support of or in opposition to council approving this grant. Hearing none, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Any questions?
Move to
Got a-
approve.
Have a
Second.
motion for approval, a second. Any comments from council? Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Okay, item 6, Captain, you stay right where you are, I guess. Approval of VOCA, the Victim of Crime Act of 1984 grant for Safe Hope Center. That'd be for a navigator in that particular center. Captain?
Yes, sir. This is a little bit different funding source for us. We don't normally get VOCA funding, but the state of Tennessee made this offer to the cities that are supported to have a family justice center like our Safe Hope Center. This is an opportunity to assess this type of position. It's kind of new to all of us, so we're actually going to figure out how to exactly use it as we go along. Each center will be a little bit different in how they do it. And then we'll report back to the state on how that went. This is a 2-year grant, and it covers salary, very minimal supplies, and very minimal travel. They offered $50,000 a year with a 20% match. We opted to take just exactly what we needed to fill the position. The city's liability in FY17 would be $9,673, and FY18 would be a cap of $10,558.
Okay, any questions from council as to?
How
Is there
soon
any
will the
question on that?
position be available?
As soon as you guys,
As soon as we let it loose?
Councilman Wallace, you have a question?
Do we have somebody already in mind for that? Will we be transferring somebody over to the police department or hiring somebody new?
no, sir, this will be a new position,
Okay.
and it's been posted.
The other question is kind of off the cuff, but the JAG grant that we just approved, I know there's limits on what you can use that money for. 2 years, we're going to run out of money on this one. Will that JAG grant money be something we possibly can use to fund this position in the future, and not next couple of years, but
Possibly. I'd have to research if that's in the scope of the JAG grant.
that might be something we'll look into. My concern always is we get some kind of a federal grant, and they fund it for a couple of years, we hire an employee, and then after those 2 years are up, then the city's responsible for, paying the employee forever or letting them go, and normally we don't let them go. So the funding for that after the first 2 years is always a concern to me, so.
Right. In this case, of course, there is no guarantee beyond the 2-year funding for the employees.
Exactly.
And that'll also give us an opportunity to evaluate whether we even should come back and ask for the
Okay,
position.
okay. The funding we're getting for this, is there a possibility that that grant would be renewed after 2 years, or is this just a?
Yes, that's possible, or there's, the state is also looking at a foundation to help support the family justice centers, and they may be able to access.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, all right.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion for approval.
Second.
Second. Discussion from council. Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, council.
7, 8, and 9 has to do with contracts, so Ms. White, if you'd come up. First is a consideration of contract for police uniforms.
Yes, we received bids on uniforms for the police department. We had one no bid, and we had one bid from Mid-South Uniform Solutions and one from CMS Uniforms. You can see the prices per person are very close. There's only a $2.32 difference between the two companies. But the lowest and best bid is from Mid-South Uniform Solutions, and I would recommend that you accept this company.
Neither of these are local, are they?
Pardon me?
Neither of these are local.
They're both in Memphis.
Any other questions of Ms. White?
Move for approval.
Have a motion for approval. Do we have a second? Have a second. Discussion? Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Item 8 is consideration of a contract for vehicle equipment for our police vehicles.
After we purchase the police cars, they have to be customized. Some of them have to be wrapped. They need their lights and, the toggle lights. So we sent out bids for this equipment. We received 4 no bids. We had a bid from Fleet Safety and one from Truckers Lighthouse. And the lowest and best bid is from Fleet Safety, and we would like for you to approve these based upon unit prices. That $17,642.75 is the cost to outfit 3 vehicles. If you will look at your sheet that says police vehicle equipment on the second page there, for the Ford Interceptor sedan with a light bar, it will cost $5793.25 to outfit that car. Then the Ford Interceptor sedan with a slick top would be $5,772.25. Then the Ford Interceptor SUV with a light bar will be $6,077.25. They also will charge $40 per hour to install this equipment onto our police cars.
Is the $40 per hour included in the bid, or is that
That's separate.
separate from the
And the other
17,000?
company bid $70 an hour.
Move the approval.
Okay, we have a motion for approval.
Second.
Have a second.
One other question, Mayor, on this. Can we include the labor in the bidding process to,
We can do
next
that.
time? I mean, obviously, we didn't this time, but that would be something that, that one company may be cheaper than the other on that, and time-wise and dollar-wise, too.
We can do that next time.
I would think that we'd want to get just a total package, what they charge us to do it, including the labor and everything would be, as far as the bidding would be concerned then. So, thank you.
Okay.
Should know how long it takes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from council? Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Item 9 is consideration of a contract for hot mix. That's asphalt
It is.
hot mix.
It is. Thank you. We received 3 bids, one from Ford Construction in Jackson, one from Ara Paving in Lexington, and one from Martin Paving in Jackson. The lowest and best bid, and we've used this company several times, is Ara Paving, $66 per ton.
Move for approval.
Have a motion for approval.
Second.
Second. Discussion from council. Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Knight. Under item 10, we have some board appointments. We have new appointments. Celeste Lucky Scott proposed for the tree board. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion, second, discussion. Council, please vote.
The vote is unanimous.
Gwen Coleman is being recommended for the Historic Zoning Commission.
So moved.
Second.
And second, discussion. Council, please vote.
The vote is unanimous.
Under reappointments, we have Tom Grady, Housing Board of Adjustments and Appeals.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion from council. Council, please vote.
The vote is unanimous.
Also, Mary Tyler for the same board.
So moved.
Second.
Motion, second, discussion. Council, please vote.
The vote is unanimous.
We have Frederick Allison for the Industrial Development Board.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, discussion. Council, please vote.
The vote is unanimous.
And Kim Harville on the Keep Jackson Beautiful Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Motion. We have a second.
Second.
Discussion from council. Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Item 11 are our budget amendments. Ms. Bell?
Good morning. We have 5 budget amendments today that we need to review. The first one is carryovers from FY16 and several of the capital funds. We have street resurfacing in the amount of decrease $148,400, traffic signalization $67,673, central dispatch $753,669, the CRA $36,000, tennis complex is a decrease of $4,005, Cypress Grove $85,820, and the civic center is $77,494. Total to be carried forward to the fund balance is $868,251.
Move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion from council. Council, please vote.
And the vote is unanimous.
Second amendment that we have today is for the industrial land purchase. This was not originally budgeted in the amount of $2,380,000.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Council, please vote.
And the motion passes with 6 members in favor, 1 abstaining.
Hey, I pushed the wrong button.
Oh, okay. The vote is unanimous.
I was voting for Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right.
Trying to keep us on our toes. Trying to keep us on our toes.
There you go.
The third amendment is for the drug fund in the amount of $26,627.30 for the purchase of rifles, and this will come from the drug fund.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
Second, discussion. Council, please vote.
The vote is unanimous.
Okay, the fourth amendment relates to the VOCA grant that you approved earlier. This is to get it on the general ledger on the books. The total will be $48,366 with a match of $9,673 coming from general fund.
So moved.
A motion. Second. Discussion. Council, please vote.
The vote is unanimous.
The last amendment that we have today, I brought to you one on Thursday evening for the Civic Center lift, but it has since increased a little bit more. And the total should have been changed in the body of your text, $216,157.50 rather than the $180,000. The amendment request is for $71,158.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Discussion from council.
There's not any chance it'll increase again, is there?
Yeah.
That would be
Ms.
a
White?
awesome question.
There's always a chance for it.
Any chance it'll increase again? Every time we talk about it, it increases.
I don't think so.
Every time we talk about it.
Okay, we voted, we haven't voted, have we?
Have a vote, no. Haven't
Okay.
been-
Have a motion and a second, all right. Council, please vote.
The vote is unanimous.
Thank you.
Item 12 is consideration of invoices over $10,000.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, discussion. Council, please vote.
The vote is unanimous.
There being no further
Mayor,
business?
before you
Yeah.
adjourn, I had in my packet the $750 land capital purchase outlay. We approved that last month, didn't we? That wasn't supposed to be on today, was it?
No, there's some item under the economic development. How about that land purchase? Sam, it's back on the agenda today. That had to do with industrial CED, Al?
Today was that we didn't get it into the capital fund.
Okay, now I'm talking about the police, the new police department building. I've got the note in my packet on that today.
433 short. That's a closed item,
I thought we had already done that, but it was in my packet. I just want to make sure we weren't missing something.
Okay, yeah, that's been,
Okay, all right.
all right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Whether it's on
There being no further
agenda or
business,
not.
meeting is adjourned.
I got a feeling for Frank.
No, Decker?
I'm gonna let her ask questions. Just clarify that stuff.
Have a great night.
Oh.
Bye.